Today's Mercedes-Benz interview of the day brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. Celebrate the journeys that bring us closer together. An exclusive offer on a vehicle you'll adore at the Mercedes-Benz Holiday Love Celebration. Going on now through January 2nd. Learn more at mbusa.com/special offers. We will play the most must-win game of the weekend coming up, and more phone calls as well on this Meet Friday. He is the head coach of Army, the Black Knights. They've got Notre Dame at Yankee Stadium coming up this weekend. He is Jeff Monken, the head coach of Army. You got your pregame speech ready?
No, I just whatever when the spirit moves me, I guess whatever I think's appropriate at the time, then I'll share it with the guys. Sometimes it's nothing, and sometimes it's something.
So it just hits you if you're going to say something or not?
Yeah. I don't plan a speech or anything like that.
Okay. How much have you watched of Notre Dame? What's your takeaway from Notre Dame?
Really talented, really well coached. They're a very complete team. There's not offensively. You try to find, what position maybe isn't their strength, but they're really athletic at receiver. They're long and physical at tight end. Their backs are downhill runners. They got great acceleration. The quarterback, he makes every throw and very sneaky running the football. I really didn't anticipate he'd be that good of a runner. Really strong on the offensive line. Defensively, athletic, really good at linebacker. They way outmatch us in the secondary. So they got a really good team.
Okay, but this kind of offensive philosophy that you guys have, I mean, it's a great offense and defensive philosophy because you guys chew up 8-9 minutes if you can. Why is it so difficult, even though Notre Dame faces this every year, but why do teams still have trouble with the Army offense?
It's different than everybody else. And though I'm certain, have spent a lot of time in the off season and in spring ball, preseason camp. As you go through the season and there's 8 or 9 opponents doing something entirely different, and then you go back to the option plan that you have defensively, you've got to reteach that to the players. And it's like playing a different sport. It's a pain in the butt for us. We start off in preseason, face Air Force and Navy. We've got to transition our guys, and it takes time to reteach it and get them plugged back in.
How important is the passing game to your offense this year?
It's important. What it does is it equalizes the balance between us trying to run the ball and people putting a bunch of folks in the box trying to stop us. And obviously we want to run the football. We want to do that very effectively. But when there are extra hats finding their way to the ball, oftentimes that opens up opportunities for us in the play action game. And we're never going to be a team that throws it a whole lot, but we've utilized that element a lot more this year. And I think at times it's really helped us and been effective.
Do you feel like an underdog this Saturday?
We're an underdog every Saturday. Every Saturday.
No, you're not. No, you've been favored a lot. You're undefeated. So, yes, Notre Dame is favored by 10 points or 2 touchdowns. But I didn't know if you felt that. Or do you want that chip on your shoulder, your team to feel like we're an underdog every week?
We've always got to play that way. Prognosticators might favor us, but they haven't been to our practices and really come in and watched us. If they did, they'd make us an underdog every week. I know who we are. Our players are they're humble enough and understand what we've got to do to win here, and that's all we focus on. So we know it's going to take just an incredible effort for us to be able to be competitive with Notre Dame tomorrow, and that's what we're focused on, trying to play our best.
How important is it for you to understand what your athletes go through off the field, outside of football, whereas most coaches don't necessarily have to worry about, schooling and everything else that goes along? I mean, this is This is unique, but I don't know, since you haven't gone through it, to understand what they're going through.
I've been here long enough to know what they're going through, but I've also been here long enough to know that we're not going to use that as an excuse. And we've got young men here that they've got to handle a lot. There's a lot of responsibility academically, the professional standards here, i.e., the military part, and being a Division I football player. It's a lot of time. Nearly every moment of their day is accounted for and not controlled by them. And so it takes great self-discipline to have a regimented schedule like that. But that's who we are. And so I think those challenges and the decisions they got to face every day about the time that they spend on a class, on a test, getting sleep, nutrition, whatever it may be, that forces them to be focused. And so we never use the stuffed rucksack, as they say here, 100 pounds of gear and a 50-pound rucksack. We never use that as an excuse. It's just, it's an opportunity for our guys to really push themselves and be the best they can be.
I think I've asked this before, but I don't know if you have any new additions. Coolest thing in your office is what?
Holy moly, man. You know what? Right over here next to me, there's a photo of my dad and I. My dad was my high school coach, and it's got an Army letter jacket. So our equipment manager gave my dad an Army letter jacket when he was coming to all the games. My dad passed away about a year and a half ago, and he was just faithful on the sidelines. Our players loved him, and so when my dad passed away, our players got a hold of that letter jacket. They had it framed and put a picture of my dad and I underneath it, and so that's really special to me. That's an addition that probably wasn't there the last time we talked.
There's your pregame speech right there, Coach.
Well, yeah, we got great young men here, and that just speaks to the love that they have for this brotherhood and just the respect they have for this program. And so I really appreciated that, and I appreciate our players, and hopefully they'll have a great game tomorrow.
Good to talk to you again. Congrats on the season so far.
Thanks so much. Appreciate the opportunity. Beat Navy.
That's Coach Jeff Monken. Number 19 Army, 9-0 against number 6 Notre Dame at Yankee Stadium. That's 7 Eastern on NBC and Peacock, by the way. 7 Eastern.